Assalamu alaikum, wonderful viewers of Fine TV. This is your usual EDUSA hour that comes your way on Fine TV every Sunday. It has been a while the program has not actually featured on this platform. That is due to one reason or the other. It could not actually come on air. But then, thank God, today we are here to continue on the fascinating programs that we usually have here. Today is not an exception when it comes to bringing forth important topics that are very much important to the students of the university, especially the education students. Today, we want to shift to a very important topic where we have our Iron Ladies in the building to take us through and then also give us their insight of the topic and what they think about it. I am Lamin Sane, as usual. Today I'll be your host one. And then I also have my co-host, who is Mr. Ismail Jasi. And we also have Anna Manga in the building, who is also going to talk to us about the topic, which is role of female teachers in promoting girls' education in the country, as important as it is. And also we have an honorable member, who is Madam Fatoumata Nyang, who is here with us to also elaborate on the topic. Now, without wasting any more time, I will just allow my co-host to introduce himself. From there, we also allow our guests who are in the building to do the same.
Okay, thank you very much, my boss. Welcome back once again. Good evening, viewers. As you rightly alluded, it's been a while. You have not been on Fine TV, so today we are here back. I'm Ismail Jasi. I'll be your co-host for the program.
Yeah, thank you very much. So that is Mr. Jasi, a man who has been doing tremendous job for the information ministry. The beautiful flyers you've been seeing, it was all done by his handiwork, and we actually cannot thank him much. But we just have to tell him you have been doing well, and then we expect that to actually continue. And we will still continue on with the introduction by starting with the guests today. Who are the guests? You'll start with the first one. Can you tell us who you, our wonderful listeners, who Anna is?
Hello, good evening, Lamin. Thank you so much. I am Anna Manga, a proud EDUSAN. I am in my second year, and I am glad to be here to talk about the role of female teachers towards girls' education. I have always had the passion to talk about the importance of girls' education.
Yeah. So, as she rightly mentioned, she is an advocate and then an activist. Well, this is a topic that she is very much in love with. So let's see how it unfolds. So from there, we also have a second guest in the building, who is also going to tell us who she is.
Thank you, Honorable, for having me here today. Good evening, wonderful viewers. I am Fatoumata Nyang, an education student, third year, major in English language and minor in public administration. It's a pleasure to be here and a proud EDUSAN. Thank you.
That is a proud EDUSAN. EDUSAN actually, as we all know, I'm sure the listeners know what EDUSAN now means. That is Education Students Association. So this hour is dedicated to us as students of the School of Education. And now we will start the program by starting with our guests who are in the building. We understand that girls' education is very important in the country. Over the years, we've seen the investment that has been done towards the education of girls. We've seen TEJEP, which was a girls' scholarship sort of, that was given to girls entirely to study for free. Madam Anna, what's your own take on girls' education as a teacher who has been teaching? And then perhaps before you start, you may tell us your experience in the field of teaching.
Yeah, thank you so much, Lamin, for that wonderful question. Being a female teacher is something I have passion for. And I must say, I am very glad serving down deep to provincial Gambia.
Wow.
Yes, I was, after my Gambia college, HTC, I was posted at Lamin, and we all know how nice to be in the combos. But I said no, I want to go to provincial Gambia. And
you choose for yourself?
Yes.
Wow, that is
I
amazing.
went to Madam Aissatou Ndao.
Okay.
And I told her, please, I would love to make a change.
Wow.
And go to Region 6.
What motivated you to do so?
Yes, what motivated me to do so was for me to go and inspire young girls out there.
Wow.
So that they can take their education seriously and let them also know that there is opportunity for them the moment they complete their education and further it down to the tertiary level.
Wow.
Yes, but Madam Dow asked me this question, which was quite amazing, and I think I deem it necessary to say it on this platform.
Very good.
Yes, and she was like, Anna, are you okay to leave the urban the urban centers to go for the rural Gambia? And I was like, yes, because she was like, we always have issues with teachers, especially the female teachers, to go to the provinces. They always want to stay within the combos. So why do you want to go there? And I'm like, okay, I want to go there and advocate for these young girls, because I have been hearing a lot of obstacles, a lot of challenge with these young girls are facing up there. And I really want to go, not only to stay in the four corners of the classroom, but also take that opportunity to go to the communities and also advocate for these girls.
Wow.
Thank you.
That is really amazing. So this is not actually a coincidence or a mistake to have somebody who has this passion to go to the provincial Gambia to actually inspire young girls in that end. Fatmata, we understand you have also been serving in the field. Can you tell us a bit, about your experience as a teacher?
Thank you, Honorable. It's a pleasure whenever I want to talk about this, because I believe if you want to inspire, get into the education field.
Sure.
I started teaching as a UQ.
Okay.
I think I have taught in different levels.
Wow.
From primary to junior and
from
senior.
Primary,
Yes.
That is interesting.
So in Living Children's Academy, though it's in the combos.
Okay.
But during my college days in 2018, as he said, I also volunteered to get into the provinces, knowing fully well somebody born in Banjul, brought up in Joshua, how it feels to go to the province. But this was something that I told my mom. I have always been within the urban centers. I need to experience how it feels to be there. I went to Kaur Senior Secondary School. I believe some of my students are here watching and they know what I'm talking about. Aside that, during holidays, we usually go and explore. We usually do voluntary service in the teaching field with XHPS, that is extra high performing students. Mostly during summer, this is what we do. We teach chemistry to the less privileged.
Very good.
In Fulabanta, in Bansang, in Farafenni. So I believe I will say at least I have experience. I will not say I have the length and breadth of this country, but mashallah, I think I have 1 or 2 experience when it comes to the teaching field and inspiration when it comes to girls' education.
We will dilate more on these areas. These are fascinating, areas, experiences that have been unfolding here. We actually, we have been dumbfounded by your experience and then your zeal to go to that extent to actually explore more in the field of teaching. Mr. Jassy, you've had them, and then this is actually fascinating. I was not thinking that we'll have ladies who also have this zeal to actually go to the province, because for the part of the men, I have not had any, saying such. Yeah, this is actually a surprise to me. So that is it. We can now start the topic, which we are actually going to elaborate more on. And then perhaps all these things that have been said, we'll come back to all of them. And that is, what importance do you think girls' education has on this particular country that we are in?
Yeah, thank you so much. The significance of girls' education, I want to believe, cannot be emphasized within the 4 corners of this fine TV, because we will not exhaust talking about the significance of girls' education and the tremendous role girls play towards the development of this country. Yes, but I will just buttress on some and allow my iron lady, my future president, to do more. But I would love to talk about, when we talk about national development, like contributing to the GDP of the country. Like in economic point of view, let me go to that point.
No problem.
We said there is no serious nation that is ready for development, and we say one gender can do it.
Okay.
Of course, we all know men can't do it alone. They need women to support them.
Sure.
They need women to be there for them at any point in time. So when we talk about the significance of girls' education, when girls are being educated, they go up to the tertiary level.
Yeah.
Of course, they will be in the labor market. They will work.
Sure.
And they will be very productive, which means they are going to contribute to the GDP of the country. So imagine removing girls from education and we have only men. Tell me how that nation is going to be, Lamin.
Yeah, it's going to be that is going to be an interesting nation.
Good. It's going to be a very interesting nation.
I have to see how it is going
Good.
to be.
And I want to believe Gambia doesn't want to be that nation.
Sure.
This is why even the highest law that we have in the country, which is the Constitution of the Gambia, have highlighted a specific portion, the section we talk about girls should be given free education from lower level, upper level, up to tertiary level.
Wow.
That shows how significant we are.
Yeah, that is very interesting. I'm just wondering, some of the viewers, what they want to say on this particular area, which might be biasness. Let me not speak on their behalf. Okay, we allow Madam Farmanajan. So you can also, like she said, she highlighted a very important point, which is the contribution to the GDP. She said educating girls has an impact on that also. What other importance do you have in mind about girls' education?
For any progressive, ongoing, and developed nation, equality is very important.
Sure.
Therefore, she talked about the GDP.
Sure.
But I will talk about the social aspect.
Wow.
Even if we are not employed,
Sure.
it is women that are in homes that educate.
Yeah.
So we give the first-hand information to anybody who stands to be president, who stand to be a lawyer, or whatever you are.
Okay.
And this tells you that education is the backbone of any nation.
Sure.
Therefore, even if you are not employed to talk about national development or contributing, but there is a way that you are doing this, tells you that I believe one thing, when it comes to employment, morally, culturally, it's key in every nation. Therefore, the importance of women education cannot be overemphasized. As the former Secretary General of United Nations once said, Kofi Annan, he said, no development can progress if women are not central in key, if are not the central players in it. Therefore, you understand that we are key in everything. I will just want to divert a bit. Let's assume that a man goes to work. He provides money at home. But if you don't have that cultural, that moral respect as a woman, what happens? You understand that that society become doomed and we are nothing. Therefore, to educate a girl child means you educate a nation.
Okay.
I rest my case until further to talk about the importance of teachers in promoting girls' education.
That is very interesting. I told you from the beginning, actually, this is not going to be an easy program. It is going to be a super hot program as you know, it is actually unfolding. So, Mr. Jassy, you may also have some one or two questions to throw.
Okay, hello viewers. I hope you are following the program and it's getting much more interesting as we have for these two educants here that are greatly given us insights. So, my first thing will go to Anna. Anna made mention of something very much important, which triggered me to have a particular question for him, because he was making a reference to the Constitution in providing that access to education. So, Madam Anna, looking at the educational policies of the Gambia in terms of the inclusive education, 2009, likewise the 2004-2015 educational policy of the Gambia, one could notice that the government of the Gambia have successfully, registered significant impact in terms of enrollment. That is, if you look at the primary school, if you look at the upper basic, if you look at the senior secondary school, the enrollment of girls have outnumbered, and it is still outnumbered. Even at the university, this is quite evidential. You can see that girls, women are outnumbering us. But there is this one unique issue, I may not call it as a problem, that I'm even happy that the two of you are inspired and you are equally inspired that you have that zeal to be posted at provinces and most women or female teachers do not want for. So the issue here is, I've been teaching for about 5 years. So, and I've been teaching in various places across the country. So the only unique issue here is, if you look at most schools, like the female teachers, their number, it is quietly unmatched compared to that of the men. Sometimes you'll see a particular school only 2 or 3 female teachers across the entire schools when males are dominating. So as a very strong advocate and somebody who always want women education to be promoted, Madam Anna Manga, what are some of the motivations or inspirations that you can tell people out there, particularly the grade 12 graduates? Because we believe that in promoting girls' education, women themselves needed to be the what? They should be at the forefront, because no one else can better promote girls' education other than them, because they are directly affected. So what did you have for those people out there in order to motivate them, in order to encourage them to join your movement, to join the profession, because we need more female teachers? So what are some of the things you have for those people so that they can join you guys in order to amplify your what? Voices in ensuring that women education, girl education is promoted. Girls have the chances to complete their schooling, because this is already guaranteed by the Constitution.
Wow, thank you so much, Ismaila, for that wonderful question. Ismaila, you are very right. We are advocating for girls' education, and we are female teachers. And I think there is no better people to advocate for such more than women themselves. But it is quite sad. Sorry to say it is quite sad. Today I was trying to check the statistic of university graduate teachers, but I could not get a number that I am quite impressed with. That shows that there is still a lot that needs to be done. Ismail, going to provincial Gambia, I was teaching in a very remote place called Diabugu Batapa. My Diabugu people, sorry to say that. But you will be sad, Lamin, to see that for 2 good years, I was in that school as the only female teacher.
Wow.
Yes. Some of the courses that, like the likes of home science, the other courses that should be taken by a female teacher, the students could not have the access to study those areas, even though they have the passion to study it.
You are the only female teacher?
Yes, I was the only female teacher.
And I know the specialist.
Good. I am in the area of sciences and PE. Yes, physical education. So you see that I was not in good position to give them that education that they need. And it's a right, it's a fundamental right for them. But they could not have it because the female teachers are not ready to go to that area, which the reason I could not tell on this platform. But I just want to encourage the government out there to try to put more motivation to the female teachers, so that at least that will encourage them after their studies. Although we know in terms of qualified teachers, the men outnumbered the female, but notwithstanding, we still want the government to encourage them more, so that we can have more female. When they are ready, they will be ready to go and serve provincial Gambia. Yes, they have the hardship, which is a form of motivation, but the hardship is not much to, make that woman to feel very comfortable, to feel very motivated to leave the combos and go to the provinces. And the other thing also, which is also hindering them down there, is when you talk about housing. Most of these female teachers do not have good quarters where they will stay. They need their privacy. They do not have it. So to go and have a compound where you're going to stay within the communities, most of these female teachers do not want that. And also some of these men will be exploiting them, even though they are female teachers. You find a youngster like I am, you go to the school, sorry to say this, my fellow principals, I'm sorry, but you find out that you need to be very strong, you need to be firm with your decision. If not, you'll be taken for granted. Some will want to harass you. There are a lot of things that is open to them out there, which they didn't want to endure. So they will prefer to stay within the campus. And Ismaila, I think if the government really wants more female out there to motivate these girls, because female teachers serve as role models to these young girls. Because when they see this female teacher teaching them every time, they will be like, okay, I think I one day want to be like her. And having that insight in them, I want to be like F Nyang, I think I'll have to work hard so that I will be in the position of F Nyang. But all this can happen if the government motivate us. So Ismaila, we will still call for more motivation, even though the constitution is there for us.
That's true. To highlight on what my co-guest said. To begin with, female teachers serve as inspiration to girls. Studies reveal that girls are driven to come to school if their teacher is a female, especially in remote villages. Girls are more likely to feel secure in a classroom where they have the support and guidance of a female supervisor. Again, parents feel comfortable and confident to send their kids to school when they know that the inhabitants are female teachers. This is to tell you that female teachers, beyond academic excellence, female teachers involve themselves with overall development. Young girls feel comfortable opening up to their fellow teachers. The correlation between teachers and girls seeking education opportunity is clear. It is important to emphasize that female teachers serve as advisors and role models. For years, teachers have been role models and advisors. In primary school and lower grades, having female educators is important as they can give the student motherly care, listen to their problems and concern, and be there for them during time of crisis. When girls hit puberty, they go through numerous I will not want to continue more, but they feel intimidated sometimes. And you realize that they find it very difficult to even open up to their parents. But at this stage, it is the female teachers that can be advocates for them. They can go to principals, talk to them about better toilets, so that even these people, when they are on their periods, they can feel comfortable and participate in academic development. Not only that, you realize that retention is also key in education. The enrollment when it comes to primary school and junior school cannot be compared to senior and tertiary level. But retaining them requires having these female teachers in it, because you see them as role model. And as long as you know the importance of education, what do? You tend to encourage them to be like you or even be better than you. Female teachers are always proud to see their fellow students excelling in different areas. I give example to a student. She was around. I will not want to call her name, but she's a very dedicated girl. She finds it very difficult to express herself with a male. During my years in that school, sometimes because she cannot talk much, she is beaten or you cannot understand how she feels. When I realized it, I had to call her. I monitor this girl. And a lot of changes happened. But when I left that school, I heard that she was a dropout. And you know what this means? How many of them are also dropouts because of this? We serve as motivators, role models, advisors, and the list goes on. Therefore, if the government can chip in to at least enforce these laws, you realize that if you are talking about female teachers, students may not be harassed, may not be sexually violated, and they will feel comfortable. Therefore, encourage women to be in this field. But how can this be done? In India, women are given incentives. And you realize that there are certain ways that this can be done. Again, graduates can also be coordinators. Let's assume you have in Kaur Senior Secondary School, students that graduated can form a group to also advocate for this change. And it will happen. You can also have enforcement of laws. Despite these laws are there, but are they being enforced? These are also things that one can be said. Sometimes, despite the constraints that we face as women, we go extra miles to go from door to door to these parents to talk to them about the importance of women education or girls education. Therefore, the importance can never be overemphasized. But we need to put emphasis on this, that girls education is key in every national development. Thank you.
I think that is very important. I think that is very important. Like you all mentioned, female teachers have a very big role to play when it comes to girls' education. You can also look at the enrollment, trend, in Gambian education. Previously, during the First Republic, you'll find out that many girls were not enrolled in schools. There was actually a stereotypical belief, towards that girls should not be that much educated. And then we've seen, progress in that. And currently, according to some of the, research I've done before, you'll find out that about 30% girls are enrolled in our senior secondary schools. Do you also think this has an effect on girls' education? And then what do you think the teachers can actually do to actually increase the enrollment of girls? Because if you understand that if 30% are only girls, that means 70%, still majority of the enrollment in schools is boys. What do you think teachers can do?
Yeah, thank you so much, Lamin.
Yeah.
There is a lot which women
Needs to
and
be done.
girls are facing
Sure.
towards their education.
Okay.
It's just some are pushing hard to make sure that they get there. You look at the likes of child marriage.
Yeah.
It's an issue that is really hindering girls.
Sure.
You look at poverty also. During the colonial and the First Republic era, and even the Second Republic, some parents did not have that much fund to try to empower both their male child and their female child to complete their education to any level that they wish. So therefore, they will decide to give the privilege to the male child and let the female child stay at home.
Poverty also had a
Yes, poverty have a hand in it.
Okay.
Child marriage or early marriage, like I told you, also have a hand in it, because we do have this belief that okay, when a girl reach 18 years or less than 18 years, she is matured enough to be hand in marriage.
And she's best for marriage.
Yes, she's best for marriage at that time. She's at that that prime stage.
That prime stage.
Yes. So you see that these are all challenges that girls are facing. And also the other thing, if you look at our social beliefs or gender stereotypes in our homes, it is believed that household choice should be done by girls. You have a male child, you have a female child. They all go to school, they all come back, and now the man has nothing more to do at home. The female will have to cook, launder, wash, do this and that. By the time you are done, you are exhausted. You just have to go to bed and rest. At the end of the day, you see that your performance will be a problem. So this is why you see that they might not end up completing, because they will not be performing much at school. I'm sorry to say, teachers, we don't like to see a student who doesn't perform much. We are best and create friends with students that are brilliant. Sorry to say, teachers. We want to see F Nyang be that brilliant student, and we take her as a friend. But the moment F Nyang is not that much performing, we kind of push her away. We don't encourage her. Sorry to say, teachers, we are kind of doing this. Yes, the encouragement is not very high. So you find out that because we are not giving much encouragement to female students due to some of this choice that they do and may not allow them to perform well in school, you see that they prefer, sometimes female students themselves prefer to even leave school because of the encouragement is not given to them. So the other thing I would want to talk about, because of these challenges which they face, they don't perform much, they end up drop out. You see that it affects the tertiary enrollment of girls and women. And this is why you see that according to statistics of qualified female teachers, you have 37.3% in the upper level. And as the trend go up, you see that at upper level, we have 22.7%. As the trend, as qualified female teachers. As you go up to the senior, you have already 11.1. So you see that the trend, as we have higher level of education, like upper, lower, going up, the enrollment, the trend for qualified female teachers is going down. It falls. So we need to ask ourselves as a nation,
what causes that?
Good, what causes it? And what can we do as a nation to make sure we fight this? We encourage these girls to complete their education from grade 12 to college up to university. But it's sad that even at university, you see teachers who will do Gambia College. Coming to university, they tell you, over my dead body, I go on the School of Education. It's better I don't attend a university degree, but I will not be on the School of Education. Why? Are we together? So you see that we need to what? We need to encourage, and put more emphasis on the significance of the teaching field, because there is no serious nation that can go without serious teachers and qualified teachers.
Exactly, no, that is not possible. And then, Ms. Liang, you've had what Anna said. From your own perspective, what do you think is actually the cause of the low enrollment of girls in schools?
I believe culturally, socially. Yeah, it's like
these are all factors.
Yes, these are factors that is contributing. As she said, it's like poverty too is also another thing. Early marriage or child marriage is also another thing.
But then currently,
but I think we can also do something.
Yeah, poverty can be an influence, perhaps before. But then currently, with the leeway, currently we don't have much hurdles when it comes to learning because it's almost free.
Distance is one thing. So if you say free, you're just talking about education goes beyond that.
Yes.
Goes beyond school fee.
Yes, exactly.
It requires textbooks. It requires feeding. You see, an empty stomach cannot stand.
Okay. That is.
And if I also say that, let's assume you have in the province at this time, for example, you have people that will be farming.
Sure.
They need to go to the farm and do this. Now, I had a friend who said some of them will take one of their children from the classroom and bring another one to replace the individual so that this person can go and do the job for them.
Not to cut you short, actually. I was teaching at Kudang. I'm sorry for mentioning the name. I should not have done so. But such happens actually in the provinces. They'll come and say, so you understand. So they have this belief.
It means that poverty is also playing a role
because that is their source of sustenance.
Exactly. Therefore, I believe sensitization, advocacy can make a change.
Sure.
Teachers can play a key role by increasing the visibility of women or female leaders.
So on the side, like here, we are specific. We are talking about you as a female teacher.
Yes.
What do you think you can do to increase the
that is what I am saying. Increase the visibility of female leaders. Okay. When you are teaching, teaching goes beyond the four corners of the classroom.
Okay.
There are certain examples that you can always cite when teaching to deviate a bit and then tell them, give the example of this and that. You can do it in integrated studies if you are in the primary school. In the sciences, you can give examples. Even in sports, you can do that with Gina Bass, and the list goes on to tell them that these people are doing extremely well because of this and that. By teaching, you can do that. Again, not only increasing the visibility, but be that encourager. Be that person who will encourage leaders. Sometimes you as teachers, as like I said, we don't only teach. We also see potentials in individual. Try to develop this individual to be somebody. This can go a long way. And if you do this, you realize that you are trying to tell the people that are there that women can do it. As a teacher, remember, you have graduated from school. From college. You are a great example to the people that you are teaching and the village that you are in. So that great example that as a teacher, or not only as a teacher, but as a female advocate and an educated person, you can do well. Sometimes we are married. Personally, I am married with a baby. At the same time going to the university. And this has nothing to do with my grades. Therefore, I am a brighter example to anyone who say that you have gone to a certain stage that you cannot. But one thing we should do,
it has not affected you.
It has not affected me in any way, but you must have that supportive person. This is why I said advocacy is key. The reason is, if men also play, it should not only be women. Remember, you have wives, you have daughters, and you have mothers. Therefore, if you are the individual that play key role in supporting women education, we will have the greatest nation in the world. The likes of America and others can tell you they are doing well because of equal participation. So societal belief, I'm not saying we should eradicate it, but at least it should go to a limit. That is to encourage education if we want a better nation to be developed.
So the participation you just mentioned, what do you think causes females not to actually participate equally like the males?
She said it. That is one, from school, because you are a girl child, you need to go and sweep. You need to go and clean. You will be the one to wash laundry. You will be the one to do, and the boy will go and play football. They are both going to school.
So that can be a factor.
Yes, this is one factor that I believe.
Deprive them from participating.
Yes. Remember, imagine even to go and fetch water, when it requires energy, you want the girl child to go and do it.
But don't you think they also have this inferior quality, like, complex thinking, they are actually inferior to the male? Because we understand we are in school, we are in the same caliber with a male, and that person is able to explore to a higher, post, let's say elections and so on. They participate and then also vie for position. But there are some females that they have to push to also participate as a male. Don't you think they have that inferiority complex in them?
Yeah, thank you, Lamin, for that question. I must say this point. Sometimes the point you just mentioned, religion kind of have a play. Because I could remember having a bitter debate with a colleague when we were in our gender class. We kind of have this belief that men are the one who should rule always. Yes, we are female and good. Men are born to be leaders, and we are to take the back seat, and we just follow their directives.
And be
good. Yes, we have that belief.
So do you have that belief?
No. I don't have that belief, Lamin. No, and I think Nyang didn't have that.
It is obvious that everyone watching Fatmata Nyang will obviously know that I am saying no to this.
When do you subscribe to that belief?
I have subscribed to this belief at an early age. Let's say at 10-5 or so. I have been an advocate at a very early age.
What motivated you to actually?
I believe it is natural. That is the belief I have.
You've not seen any female that push you, and
It is natural.
Okay.
It is natural because even at home, this is how I am. I lead at home, and they listen to me. I'm fortunate. That's why I always say I am fortunate because I have brothers that listen to me. I have men that listen to me. My husband also listens to me. They want me to contribute. Today, I cooked and left home, and I was here, but we did it together. That is why in the 21st century, there is something like we call co-parenting. You see, this is why sometimes whatever the child needs goes to the mother. And when you talk about when the person grows up, you want to say my child. Why? Because at that spot, you are no more responsible for that individual. It is a shared responsibility. And in as much as we feel that it is on one-sided or it is one gender, that is where the problem is. Everybody can be advocate. One thing I do not want to say is, when it comes to religion, it is religion. But when it comes to academics, it has nothing to do with that.
And social.
It is very clear. You see women dealing with boys or men in class. We are dealing with some of them. Those of you watching know how it is. Anna, you can attest to this. We deal with them in presentation. We deal with them in exams. So why can't we do it?
Now it is getting more interesting, and I'm seeing actually they're actually trying to deviate from the topic and then also get into another debate with us, and then we might not allow that. So let me allow Ismaila to actually ask some questions on the topic, role of female teachers towards girls' education.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sane. This time I may not have a question or maybe a few questions also. All I have is a comment here. I have a comment. Because one thing they have been talking about, Anna and Madam Nya have been giving statistics about the enrollment of girls in school. If you look at the primary school, the number is many. If you look at the upper basic, the number is many. If you look at the senior school, the number is many. But the problem with the enrollment is how many girls have that ability, that access, that opportunity, that chance to be able to complete their schooling. The issue here is at the tertiary institute. The number of girls enrollment there is very much minimal. I love one thing Madam Nya was talking about, that women in the provinces, students seeing themselves like a female student, seeing that their co-teachers, this thing, how to call it, their teachers are what? Females, that will motivate them. Wow, this is a female teacher. Because most often, if you look at schools, it is always dominated by males. So, but when students started seeing those things, they will say, "Wow, this is a female teacher." They'll be motivated. They'll be highly motivated about that. There's always one motivation I always learn from one of my lecturer. Mrs. Safia Dudavo from the University of the Gambia. She's already a research scientist, a PhD candidate. This lady has a lot of responsibilities, particularly during the weekend. But she always tells students at the class that, this have never stopped me to do my marital work at home. So as women, you should be motivated. So I think one thing I just want to put across, they should be self-motivated. That is very much important. They should be self-motivated in terms of this, because they are directly affected, and they should ensure that, these things are being amplified. So all I implore on them is self-motivation, and I'm very happy through their deliberations We have already seen that thing in them already. So, Madam Nyang, I just want also to put some emphasis on some of the factors that may hinder girls in completing their education, because I think this is very key here. Most girls do not have that access to be able to complete their education, particularly at tertiary institute, and the enrollment is very good at the school, particularly at the basic level. But in terms of completion, it's always a problem. So I want you to put that emphasis. Tell the listeners out there what are some of the things, because it is an education forum to educate those young ladies out there. Some of the factors, some of the influencing factors that could hinder them negatively in completing their education. So I want you to put emphasis on that.
Thank you, Honorable, for asking that wonderful question. Like I said earlier, it is very important to be focused. Know the importance of education. Get role models and look up to them. Focus on them. Try to develop yourself differently, and then you will be somebody. Motivation starts from within oneself. It starts from you as an individual. And as we speak, you should understand that the importance of education has been said over and over again. And you've been seeing people that are excelling when it comes to education. Therefore, one thing is focus on education in as much as you can as a teenager. As a young person, know that you have a goal. Set your goal straight and your objective. If you do this, you will excel. But one of the things I feel may hinder girls' education is early marriage. This can be one thing that can disturb you. Again, the social media can also be another factor. Despite its importance. That is why the media is there for you to learn and educate yourself. But if you also go astray, you will regret it. Another thing may be poverty. But despite that, we have seen people that are poor and rise to be something. We've seen people that are nothing, that work so hard to become something. I can give brighter example of people that went to school without lunch, without anything. Despite they are very hungry. They work so hard to be somebody in future. Have the belief that there is nothing that can stop me from achieving my goal. If you believe in yourself that I am poor, I cannot do this, I cannot do that, you will never be able to do it. As you can see seated here, we are also not from rich homes. It was also not very easy. But we also passed and struggled so hard to be where we are. Despite there are so many hurdles in future that we also want to conquer. Focus on them. If you feel that there is something that I can do, meet an elderly person. There is always the VDC chairperson in villages. There are also people that you can look up to. Meet them and ask them your problem. Talk to them. But the first person that you always need to talk to is that parent of yours. That mother, that father, you can always rely on. Despite that, meet that teacher that you feel is so dedicated in school. Despite the hurdles, you can also make it. Another thing is not only child marriage, as I said, poverty is also another thing, as I said, and again, the internet. These key things are very, very crucial when it comes to development. Not only that, the parties that we go to. We can do it, but there is time for everything.
Sure.
At this stage I can just take permission and I will go. But at that stage, you have a responsibility and a moral obligation that is to learn and excel. Anna will also talk about some of the things that I did not mention. But these three things are key in every fundamental education career.
Indeed, those 3 points are very key. We also want, our listeners have been following, and then as we promised them, we'll also get to read some of their comments as they follow us. Lamin M. Cham says, keep it up, guys. So that is Mohammed Sao is one of those listeners who sent lots of comments. According to him, he said the problem is when they complete UTG, they will not want to be posted to the provinces. I'm not sure who he is referring to, but I believe these two ladies are not a problem. There are exceptions to that. And also, he continued by saying, Anna, keep it up. Their book is closer to my village, Kuonkuba.
Konku. Yeah, I know the village.
Okay.
In fact, this is why I wanted to buttress on one point. But you can go ahead when you're done.
Exactly. So he said, but don't you think that the government is responsible for that? If teachers fail to go to the provinces, they need to take action. But nepotism is filling our ministry. By this, they only post people they don't know. So Modu Musa Cham, that is Honorable Cham, said, keep it up, family. And then Muhammad continued by saying, traditional practices, poverty, peer pressure, preference for male children, and then teenage pregnancy, etc. These are some of the reasons he feel very important, and are the causes, the hindrances to this. And then he said he has a question that which I'll bring forth later. Sanu said a very interesting and insightful topic. So here his question is: I have a question. Do you think that the caliber of teachers enrolled at the Gambia College contribute to low level of education? You can buttress on this point that you want to, and then we answer this question.
Okay, just to add up to the things that hinders girls' education.
Sure.
Yes. From experience, being posted at Diabugo Batapa.
Yeah.
The distance from school to home or from home to school sometimes hinders girls from completing their education.
Distance, huh?
Yes, I must thank MRC Holland on this platform together with UNICEF in partnership with MOPSI for the tremendous job that they are doing in establishing schools within the rural Gambia. Yes, I must thank them so much. But still, there is more to be done when you go to provincial Gambia. Like I was in Diabugo, and Diabugo is found in Sandu.
Sure.
As we speak, the people of Sandu know what I'm talking about. The entire Sandu, we have only Diabugo as the only senior secondary school. Yes, we have about 16 to 17 communities in Sandu. We have only Diabugo as the only senior secondary school. And villages in provincial Gambia is not like the way we just have Farato, Busumbala and stuff like that. We have distance between them. So you have students from all the way from Fada, Sare Fodike, going to Nyankui, those far places, the likes of Misira, for all of them to come to the likes of Konku, this man who just texts you. Yes, you look at that, you look at those distance, you want female students to walk to come to this place to attend their tertiary institution. Yes, parents will feel insecure and they will be like, my girl child is not secure. Therefore, it's better for the boy child to go, but than the female child to go. So they would prefer to even ask the girl to stay at home and help them with household chores or other things, but not to attend a senior secondary school. So you find out that I do have access to chat with some of these girls, especially when I went to this place, Sare Fodike. Yes, when I talk to some of these girls, why is it that you don't come to Diabugo? They are like, okay, for us to have an accommodation of where to stay and we feel secured is a problem. So you see that these are some of the problems that we are facing out there. So you see that enrollment in girls in primary school at Diabugo will be okay. Upper school is okay. But when you go to the senior, it's a problem. Most of the parents feel insecure to leave their girl child to walk that long distance to go to school. So therefore, they will prefer for their girl child to stay at home. So I must say thank you to the effort that the government is doing. But still, yes, they need to develop. Yes, they need to improve.
We can answer that particular question as Mohammed rightly. That is. Yeah, okay. You can throw some light on that. And that is the enrollment at the Gambia College. The caliber of teachers that are enrolled there.
Yes, thank you for that wonderful question. I think these points need to be looked at. Yes, the type of students that we are enrolling in the Gambia College. Because to me, I think being in the teaching field or being called a teacher should be the most challenging thing in the Gambia to achieve. Because you are now good. But you find out that it's quite surprising, Lamin. Most of the people have already seen the teaching field as a fail area. This is a failure where, people go to. When you have your 1 credit, your 2 credit, your 3 credit, there is nowhere that you look up to, the Gambia College. In fact, some will tell you the Gambia College is a stepping stone for anything that you want to acquire. So I want us to change this perspective. I want us to change the narrative. And how can they change it? I want the Gambia Collect, like when they're enrolling, like the question likely read, let's take students that have at least 5 credit. And these 5 credit include maths and English, if not credit, but at least pass. But it's quite surprising sometimes, like they say, you may have students with 3 credits, some did not even have maths and English, and they're enrolled. So we need to look at the criteria very well. We enroll students that are worth being teachers. We enroll them and give them proper training. Because sometimes too, you might not have the proper training at Gambia College. Let's call it spade a spade. Yes.
Yes. The enrollment is one thing, but also the attitudinal is key when it comes to teaching field. It should not only be academic, but the way you dress, the way you act, morally and culturally should be very important. You should always be up to par. I taught in West Africa International School, but these people will tell me I do not want to say because I already named the school. I wish I did not. But if I had, I would have said that just a particular international school.
Sure, it's okay.
It's unfortunate that I just called it so.
Exactly.
Yes, I can no more say this. But it is so sad that there are certain teachers that they will not employ based on certain attitudes because of dress code, because of certain activities that we do. Therefore, the 5 credits is important, but training is also one thing. After they have graduated from the Gambia College, there should be testing.
The modesty is important.
And teachers should be on probation, like other institutions. You should be on probation for 3 months or 2 months. If you're not doing well, we see a way out. The government should, and again, monitoring. Yes.
It's very lacking.
Proper monitoring is lacking. You don't know if somebody has gone through everything, especially in classroom or even away. When you have graduated, like I said, probation period is a time that you can monitor teachers, how they are doing well. You see, if you have trained these people, also monitor them. It is happening in institutions that are excelling. So why can't it be in the teaching field?
Observations do take place, usually, but
my point, observation, it is like, I am coming tomorrow. I am coming after tomorrow. Or somebody, I'm coming next week. I am coming on Tuesday.
And
teaching requires an everyday job. And again, this is an external monitor. I'm also talking about internal monitoring. In schools, teachers or head teachers, HODs, can just bump into your class at any time
and then
to see what you are doing. Or if that cannot be, let them employ individuals that will just be there for that. But at some point, we will call them informers.
And then
they will be called informers.
I think one of the biggest problems of the Gambia is the Muslaha syndrome. Also, you might find some of them very much incapable, but then you still keep them in the system. And this affects students a lot, I think I also saw lots of teachers, that I in fact wonder how they, got the qualification. Expressing themselves is in fact a problem. So if a teacher cannot really express himself or herself, in writing also, I just wonder what that teacher can actually put in the minds of students.
And appearance.
Appearance is very important, especially for the females, because usually female students, like you made mention, I love that particular part that was mentioned. That is to say, they always love to imitate, their female teachers. My wife is actually a teacher, and then her dress code. Some of the students do appear, in that particular manner, and then they want to say, I'm emulating this particular teacher, because they always feel proud of it. So once you dress badly, usually it affects them as students also. So I think this is very important. We don't have much time to go, but then we still want to elaborate on so many issues. So
still on the same question, I think Mohammed raised a very important question here. If I may sense it, is directly trying to tell us about quality education. Because that low level is trying to talk about that quality education. As we all know, it is always in line with SDG 4, that is the Sustainable Development Goal 4, that quality education. So what he said, one may not deny that fact. The caliber of teachers in terms of enrollment criteria, the Gambia College could be a potential contributing factor that is significantly contributing to the low quality education in the Gambia in general. So the other thing also, what Madam Nya was talking about, the ethical behavior of teachers. I think this is very much important.
Sure.
One can make a very good reference from the banks. You know, their dress code matters a lot.
Yeah.
Because one of my boy is a banker. He is always on suit. If he is not on suit, he have to put on tie. He have to put on those kind of dress code. He'll be telling me, you know what, if you're at the bank, if you don't dress like this, you know, they have to address you.
Sure.
And if you don't want to comply, and there are consequences. So I think some of these initiatives could also be introduced in the teaching fraternity, because teachers are role models. You are teaching. People are seeing you, you know, directing, impacting lives. So your appearance, your actions, your inactions, your influences, they matters a lot to the learners. So it's very much important how you appear. So teachers should have that passion. They should have that motivation. It's like no one should force you to go to the Gambia College. I don't want to, you know, teachers should not take teaching as, for example, as my last choice. Maybe I tried other places, it could not work. People will say that, you know, now go to the Gambia College and go and be a teacher. You know? So we should not take the job like that. Education is very much important as far as national development is concerned. So we should do this job with passion, with love, with that enthusiastic mindset, because we are contributing our own quarter towards the national development. So that ethical behavior, that passion must be there in ensuring that that quality education we are all yearning for is achieved. So I call on all teachers, particularly male teachers, to a certain extent. You know, we are sorry to say this, but in terms of dress code, sometimes it's a problem, and I think this is clearly manifested. Even in Brikamo sometimes, you know, that is why there is this provocation always that Carnifing students dress better than that of Brikamo, maybe law school and Carnif, because they will say
I feel it starts at the, you know, center, university and the college.
Yes, in Brikamo they will say, you see people will sleep, or some lecturers will say, you can even identify students that are coming from Brikamo or that are coming from law school. So I think this dress code is sending a very big signal. So as teachers, we really need to work on that. That ethical behavior, we should have that. So it's very much important, you know.
Bakar is saying a different thing. He said you might have a good grade, you know, in senior school, but that wouldn't guarantee you becoming a good teacher. I think that is also true. Like that is why we always attach modesty to it, you know, despite having very good grades. The training also is very important. And Sanu said, I agree with Anna that many people see the Gambia College as a springboard to other institutions. I think proper screening should be done at the college level before admission. So maybe that also is very important. Because whenever we talk about teachers, we cannot just leave out the college, because the Gambia have only the college to actually train teachers for national development. And then in another very important point, female teachers. What other role do you think is very much significant that they can play towards national development by helping the girls to actually have a very good education?
Yes, to me, the female teachers should not only stop in the four corners of the classroom. Let them not only stop at the school level. Let them try to create that trust, building that strong relationship with the parents, with the communities. Let them always be taking part in the community activities. That will make parents to build more trust in the female teachers, in them, and also will motivate and allow them to encourage their girl child to go to school, to complete school, and be like those teachers. Yes, I will always take reference to Provincial Gambia because I was there. You see that some of these, sorry to say, some of the female teachers really hold themselves when they, like, especially when the school have quotas. The moment they are in the quotas, they hardly have business with the community. They are always in the school. Wait for students to come, you teach them. You know, school close and they go home, and that's all.
The engagement with the community,
is very minimal, and that is quite important if you really want to encourage girls' education. Because all these girls are coming from homes, and if you win the heart of those parents, they build that trust and confidence in you as a female teacher. Like Nyang said, from your dress code, from the way you rapport, from your social activities, at least you build up the trust and confidence from both the students and the parents. And therefore, they will encourage their girl child.
Nyang,
thank you.
From your own perspective?
From my own perspective, I believe there should be mentors, counselors, and that guidance that you can. But you can only be this if you are trusted. If you're not trusted, you're not expected to counsel anyone.
How do you gain the trust?
Yes, as she said, you need to mingle with people.
Sure.
You cannot be.
You collaborate.
Yes, you need. Thank you. You need to collaborate with people. You need to socialize with them in order to build that trust.
Sure.
But again, as you also need to do that, build that trust in yourself. People need to trust you, and if you do that, you will excel with them. That is why I said it should not always be within the four corners of the class. Be that mentor, that guidance, and that counselor. If you do it, students will trust you, the community will trust you, the government will trust you, and you will excel in the teaching fraternity.
Yeah. What hurdle do you think is currently facing female teachers that you think the government should work on?
One, distance. Two, the facilities that are in urban areas.
Distance
to schools.
Okay.
Yes. Because within the urban center, you can take $25, $10 and be anywhere you want to go to.
Yeah.
But in that place, you find it very difficult to get that. Accessibility is always a problem. You may say that we are giving them hardship, but one will say, if I am within the combos, the amount of money that I can get cannot be compared to that place. Therefore, they need to be motivated in that.
And do you think there should be special treatment of female teachers?
Yes, if because we are always vulnerable.
Yeah?
So special treatment is very important.
Sure.
If you do this, you will realize that the facilities is also very important. Imagine somebody within the urban center. In a house with toilets and everything that is not provided there, the person find it difficult to also adapt to that situation unless and until maybe that person have the heart to say that, oh, I just want to serve the Gambia. But in every 100, you'll find one in it. Therefore, this facility should be there. Accessibility, water, electricity, housing is key in everything. As other institutions are doing, that is dress code allowance can also be in order to motivate them. Because you know that women need to be at least up there so that students will feel, like one of my lecturers will say, I am attracting you in the profession. I want to attract you. So if that person is saying it, that is, he is dressing well, why can't we? Therefore, dress code allowance, like I said, facilities, water, electricity, these are basic needs. Yes, increase the hardship. That is the special treatment that he was referring to. If we have all these things plus mobility, we are good to go. Let them provide also buses. Because it is happening within the urban centers in other institutions. When they close from school, they have drivers that will take them. Maybe teachers can contribute every month to buy fuel or pay the driver. But if these things are done, probably things can change. This is my belief.
Thank you very much.
So, I think that is very, very important. The point which you just highlighted, because these are some of the issues where when female teachers are posted there, they'll be like, hi, yala terematofi, so but when we have all these incentives in place, it will solely motivate female teachers to be down there and they give out their best to the Gambia.
Okay.
Thank you very much, guys. The program is becoming more interesting. Anna, I wanted to ask you this question. Did you agree with this connotation that, like, what men can do, women can do better?
Sure. I think.
Okay. Do you agree? Yes or no? That's the answer I need.
Sure, I quite agree.
Good. Okay. If you look at the government of the Gambia, that is in terms of this STEM promotion of science and masses. You know, the government is heavily investing in this. Them in large number. But if you look at the sciences, mathematics, the number is always small. Is it that what kind of thing are they having in mind?
It's a matter of self-confidence and also believing in yourself that this is what I can do. But the moment you cut your own potentials, you have less belief in yourself, then therefore achieving some of these areas become a problem. We already have certain subjects in school that some of the female students have the belief that these are subjects for men. These are always boys-dominated subjects. So why should I find myself in those subjects? So we just have to break the belief that these are men-dominated subjects. And we have the confidence in ourselves. The moment we do that, we can do it. I always believe that women can do it. And if they are ready to do it, they can even do it better. That's my belief. So I just want to encourage young girls out there, try to take up your mathematics, your chemistry, your physics very seriously. And not only that, venture into some of the male-dominated subjects. The likes of woodwork, the likes of metal. To them, you stand at a very, very good opportunity to have whatever you want. In fact, currently, MOHA's Ministry of Science, Higher Education, is awarding, when a male child and a female applied, you see that opportunity or the privilege is most given to the female student than that of their male. When it comes to the STEM and the TVEC, the TVEC and the STEM education. So that all that you see that they are trying to encourage girls, motivate them so that they take up the challenge. Yes, let us not see these subjects as main subject or because men dominate the area. If I venture into the area, I will be stereotyped. No. Let us have the courage, the confidence, and trust and believe in ourselves, and then we can do it. Ismaila, I will still go back with the quotation. If women are ready, we can do it, and we will do it better.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Okay, so that is great. So Nyang, we understand that you are at the university. Maybe this can be our last, discussion. And then you've already come to this far. That is, almost to the end of your study. What motivation can you give to girls who are currently at schools, and then they may also have the zeal to come to these tertiary institutions like the university? What do you think they should actually do to reach this level?
Thank you for that wonderful question once again.
Yeah.
Ladies, women, girls. I use this because I'm not only referring to those from high school, but even those that are in their matrimonial homes. It is never too late to always go and study. As some will say, there was a quotation that they usually say in one of Janga do West. Thank you, Janga do West. Go for it. If you educate a girl child, you educate a nation. You can always do it, and it is never too late. We are seeing men who are 50, 60 in the university. Why not women who are 60, 50 to go to school? We can. Those of you who are at your prime, 18, 17, as Master Promise will say, you are at the age of accusation. Go for it. Even those of you who may not have 9 credits, but will have fails, you can recite these courses. Do them and feel that even if you fail 99 times, Michael Jordan failed 99 times, yet the 100, he scored it. You can always do it with proper practice. This is a message that goes to everyone out there who is watching. You can do it. Focus, believe in yourself. Within yourself, you can do it. And the greatest challenge is when someone tells you cannot do it. That is the time that you wake the lioness in me. The moment you say, Nyang, you cannot, I feel great that I need to prove a point. This is why you need to give women leadership role. The moment you do this, we always prove them wrong because people will be doubting. There is somebody at home who is saying that Binta Samba will not do well in your grade 12 exam. Prove that person wrong. There is an individual who is saying that you will not go to the university. Prove that person wrong. There is somebody who is there saying that you cannot make it. Of course you can. Go for it. Pursue your dreams and you will excel. On that note, I thank you all and I hope you've gained something from what we have said.
Thank you very much. That is Fatmata Nyang. She needs no introduction. She has already said it, and then I think all what was said is very important, and it's all geared towards you, the girl child who is listening and watching us. We are actually encouraging you to do as they are doing. They've actually excelled a lot in this particular field of education. They've taught many, and they are still on it, and they are still pursuing their dreams at the university. As she said, being married, with child, that does not stop her, and then it has not affected her one bit when it comes to performance. In fact, she competes, and she also vies for position. So let's see how it unfolds. But then, actually, it is very much interesting. Anna, that was a fascinating program. Maybe you can just wrap it up by giving 1 or 2 words of encouragement to females. From there, we wrap up the program.
Yeah, thank you so much. To wrap up, I would just want to educate girls out there because some might not even be aware that education is a fundamental human right to them. They have the right to education. So though we have this culture of silence in our communities, your parents might want to remove you from school, put you or force you to marriage. And because you don't know that this is a right, or you might not know the right step that you have to take, you will just subdue and you'll be like, okay, these are my parents and there is nothing more I can say or do. And you just like, bàyyi ma def lu gaay wax rek ma dem ma say. But jànga maa ngi leen a wax bés ni ki tey gis nga jànga buñ nekk di wax ni suñu right la so loo xam ne la suñu wargal la so sa waajur su la bëgg a génnee yóbbu la nga dem sey ne ko yaa boy wala papa si waxtaan si kaddu yu rafet xamal leen ne it's your right and therefore let them allow you to complete your education. Once again, I will tell all the girls out there, take up your education seriously. We will have a lot of Ismailas and Lamin out there, and they will want to be distractors. Do not allow them. Good. yes. So please take up your education seriously. Try to complete your education to any level, and the support will always be there for you. And know that this is not just a privilege, but it is a right. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That is Anna Manga, Mr. Ismaila Jassi.
I think so far so good. The program has been very much interesting, very fruitful, educative. I think the message for all the ladies out there, these two great ladies here should serve as a source of motivation for them. Because these two voluntarily, wanted to be posted at the provinces, because that is something very much rare. You see, ladies, they will all be like, I wanted to be posted in Combos. I don't want to go for postings at the provinces also. So, and the other thing Fatnia made mention of about this self-motivation, having this belief that she made reference to other great people and also to Albert Einstein the same. That man also is a great scientist, and he always believed that whatever he cannot prove, he is not willing to learn it. So he always ensured that whatever he is able to learn, he is able to prove it. That is the only knowledge he always acquire. So to all the women out there, try to be self-motivated, try to have this belief and conviction that you can be able to do it. Try to have that belief, try to be self-motivated. Do not allow anything to distract you, because you are equal partners in development. Women cannot be left in terms of development. You are key. So I encourage every woman out there to have that belief in you that you can be able to do it, most particularly at the university. Teachers out there that are in the teaching field, you serve for 1 year or 2 years. Now that the government have already opened the door, after 1 year, you can be confirmed you are due. Come for your university education. University education is very much important. Come for university education. If you are at the University of the Gambia, there is, more female lecturers are coming up, and, we are very happy, with that. So it's like we need more females. So try to come for university education. It's very much important. After serving 1 or 2 years, you can come on board, try to acquire the university education. Marriage should not stop you. Marital work at home should not stop you. This is a very good example here. Madam Nyan, she is married with kids. She's at the university, and she always participates in all the activities as far as the UTG is concerned. So that is not an excuse. So always have that belief that I can do it, and you'll be able to do it.
Thank you very much. That is Mr. Ismaila Jassi. That was Fatmata Nyang and then Anna Manga. It has been a very interesting program. That is EDUSA HOUR on Fine TV. It is always not nice to say goodbye, but then we have to. It is always something that has to be. But then the program was that is role of female teachers towards girls' education. What can we do to improve girls' education? And I think our guests have done justice to the topic. They've actually done a lot by inspiring the female student there, or the girl, child who is currently going to school or planning to. I think these two grades should be a motivation to you, and also an inspiring, duos that you should actually imitate, and also emulate their actions and whatever they have done currently. Because like we rightly mentioned, knowing the fact that there are lots of challenges that the female go through, in order to be educated, especially to this level of education. So by passing all those challenges and coming to this level is something amazing. So we just encourage all of you to do as they did, and you shall prosper as they are prospering. So this is EDUSA HOUR on Fine TV. Before you go, we just say shout out to all our wonderful viewers, and then to Honorable Kekuta Cham, who is the CEO of Fine TV, a very good brother, a colleague at the Gambia College. We rock it together, and then he actually did tremendous job for the University of the Gambia. once a student and also now advocating for all the programs, always airing all of them for free of charge. This is something amazing. Not many people knew about it, but